How's it going, guys? This is Hunt Central, and today we're going to be diving into the Spirit Halloween lineup leak. Now, just like the last video, I do want to give a disclaimer that these are not my photos. I did not take these. I'm not sure where they originated from, and even if I did, I wouldn't want to name names here. But these are not my photos. I cannot take credit for posting these. These were posted publicly online. Therefore, I am not the one revealing them to the Haunter community. Now that that is out of the way, let's dive into this. I really hate saying this, but huge letdown this year. I will give, in their defense though, we have not seen what most of these props or any of these props do, but just you can get a general idea by looking at them of what you think they're going to do, and just the idea behind it. Behind a lot of these props it's just horrendous. So this here is the product key for the front theme, and as you can see, we have Possessed Pumpkin and Lord Raven right when you walk in at the archway. And then as well we have Bog Zombie, which is one of the ones I actually like, which I will get to. Grim is returning this year. Tombstone Terror, which is one of the worst ones in my opinion. I'll get to that as well. Shorty, which is also returning. Mr. Punchy, Young Crouchy, Barry, and what's interesting about Barry is that he was an online-only prop last year, as many of you know, and I do think he's going to be a placeholder because we do not see him in any of these photos, which is kind of a letdown, which means that there are only 8 props in the front theme, which is the least amount of props we've ever seen in a front theme, if I'm correct. The Spirit Hollows bridge in 2017 did not have many either, but this is pretty bad. Not many at all. Huge letdown for the front theme. Last year we had a ton in the front theme. This year does not look like we're getting that. I do like the front theme itself. I will not hate on the themes. The themes this year are great in my opinion. However, the props this year, not so much, which is a huge letdown, like I said. And just like the last photo, this is the product key, except for the back theme for stores this year. And just like the last photo as well, I'm just going to read down the list here. So, Nozzles the Clown is one of the other ones that I do like this year, and we'll get into him later on. Lucky Bottoms, he is believed to be a just kind of goes back and forth, rocks back and forth, and makes clown noises. Lil Skelly Bones, this is not to be confused with the original Lil Skelly Bones from 2015, which I'm actually a huge fan of, and I have in my basement right now while recording this by my desk. He's one of my favorite animatronics to date. Bagel Bones, basically just a skeleton that comes out of, well, a bag. Betty Sharp, we'll get into that, but it seems to be like a mommy's favorite type of reskin, if I had to guess. Black and Red Jumping Spider, we're not going to talk too much about that because we know all about that. And Regan. Now, the Regan is pretty interesting, and we'll get into that as well. However, the price is interestingly bad, and we'll get into that in a few minutes. So next up here, I have individual pictures, and I'm sure you've all seen from the manual, the instruction manual for the themes this year. And this one right here is actually one that I do like by the looks of it, and this is Possessed Pumpkin. Now, if you have a good eye here, you will notice that this is a reskin from Crouchy from 2019. You can see that it's got a similar mechanism, and it's basically just Crouchy, but a pumpkin. But I digress there because I do like this guy. As you can see, he is a pumpkin. Not sure if he's going to talk. My guess is he's just going to make groaning sounds. But if we did get some phrases from him, that would also be cool as well. Like I said, a lot of these props we don't know what they're going to do, but I'm guessing it's just going to be very similar to Crouchy, and this guy is outrageously priced. Like the rest of them, this guy is outrageously priced. Crouchy was around $300 if you guys remember, and this guy is $329.99. Now that $330, that is not the biggest step up from $300, but it's definitely it's definitely stretching it, and I'm going to talk more about the prices because the prices are pretty bad this year, almost as bad as the lineup itself. Just the prices have really, really gone up this year, and I know that's because of demand and supply and everything, but I don't see a normal person coming into the store spending $330 on a Halloween decoration that you're going to put outside for a month or so, or just some people just put it out trick-or-treating night because they're so expensive and don't want it to get stolen or anything, and then put it away for the rest of the season. I just don't see it happening. Haunters, I'm sure, will be buying it because, haunters are more dedicated to this as a hobby, but the normal person coming to the store, I just don't see it. But other than the price, overall, I really like the idea. I really like the looks of this guy. He does look pretty good right when you walk into the store, like how Baphomet was last year. But overall, I do like this guy. Next up is Lord Raven, which is on the other side of the archway into the front theme. Now, this one I also am a pretty big fan of. I'm kind of starting off with the good ones here as we go along, but this one I am a pretty big fan of. However, the price, again, is the same problem. It is $300. I saw this one being more around $200 or maybe even $230, $250. But same as the last one, I don't see somebody walking in and buying something like this that they're going to use for a week out of the year. Now, we don't know what he does motion-wise. I'm hearing that the motion, there's a rumor going around that the motion is pretty cool. He's got some arm motion, even has mouth motion too. So that would mean that we probably, I'm not sure if we're getting phrases out of this or if it's just going to be like bird sounds or anything like that. But like I said, $300 is a pretty steep price. And as you can see by the notice thing down below him there, his arms are posable and are going to be, or supposed to be posed in stores like that to make it kind of look like wings. But this is another one that I do personally think is going to be pretty good. Not sure if he lights up or not, but the mouth movement should be pretty interesting, and I'm also pretty interested to see what he does. But not too much more to say about this guy. Overall, good things about this guy, just like Possessed Pumpkin, but pretty excited to see what he does. Next up here is Bog Zombie. Now, he also is one of the ones that I do personally like for the lineup this year. We've yet to see his motion, but I'm kind of hoping that it is not... He doesn't say any phrases. Normally I'm all for phrases, but it just seems unnatural for a prop like this to be saying phrases. That could be an opportunity for it to really screw this up. So I'm hoping he kind of just grunts, maybe lunges. Not exactly sure. I'm hearing that he has the same kind of mechanism and is going to move sort of like Grim last year, so I did like that a lot. He is $249.99, so not too bad of a price, but also at the same time isn't too good either. He is affordable. I do see a lot of people buying him. He really has that Halloween vibe to him, if you know what I mean, the Halloween look to him. He's got like the old classic horror movie to him, like the old, it's sometimes nice to see a basic prop like this from Spirit and not with blood all over it. Just, I'm all for the blood and everything, and we'll get to that in a few minutes with like Betty Sharp, but I do like this guy. He is definitely going towards the top of my list this year, and I might even have to pick him up this year, maybe during the 50% off sale, as I might do with others like Lord Raven, because just $300 is just outrageous, as we talked about. But he is in the front theme, like I said, and it looks that he's right towards the front, behind. He looks like he's behind Possessed Pumpkin there, but nothing bad really to say about this guy yet. I hope that they don't ruin this by putting, any cheesy, cringeworthy phrases into him, but so far, I like him. And this is unfortunately where things start to take a turn for the worse. This is Tombstone Terror. Now, we don't have an official price on him, but by the looks of it on the price tag, unless we just can't see that well with these blurry photos, is that he does look to be under $100. So I guess that's something going for him. If I had to guess, he's probably $70 $79.99, $89.99, or maybe $99.99. So he might be $100 flat, but this one is just really, really generic, is my biggest problem with it. The Tombstone is super generic, and those of you that haven't seen the pictures, I unfortunately don't really have one show you here, but pictures I did see is that the skeleton that pops out of it basically just looks like one of those skeleton or skulls that you can buy from the dollar store. It just looks really cheaply made, so something I would not spend $100 on something that's styrofoam and some plastic skeleton that you could probably make for a quarter of the price. Now this one I do see a lot of people buying that, you know, are non-haunters, if you know what I mean, because it is, by the looks of it, it is going to be affordable. We don't 100% know that yet, but by the looks of it, it is going to be affordable. But if this is over $100, that's just ridiculous. But in my opinion, this is probably one of the worst ones this year. Huge letdown here. We've seen so many graveyard props, and I will admit the original Rise from the Grave props and grave grabbing props and tombstone lifters were so cool, so nostalgic to me, and I really had hope for this to bring that nostalgia back to Spirit, but it's just not doing it. It just looks ridiculous, and there's nothing more I can say on this one than this was a huge letdown and just does not do it for me. And next up here is Mr. Punchy. Now Mr. Punchy is, by the looks of it, another real winner for this year, and by that, of course, I'm being sarcastic. It does look like he is going to be inflatable, that he's going to be part inflatable, part animatronic, which I will admit is pretty interesting. We don't get many of those. But I do like I'll start with the good stuff first. I do like the design of him with the polka dots, and I do like his face. However, it just looks strange and like a waste of money to me as well. I am hearing that he also has some pretty horrendous phrases, and I'm also hearing that his phrases are almost as bad, if not as bad, as Johnny Punk's, which that would not be good. I really don't want another prop in the store like that you got to listen to, but what are you going to do? So his price is $279.99. Now that is a huge, that is almost $300. That is another huge stretch of a price. I get that it's half inflatable, half animatronic, so you're kind of paying for both there. And I do believe he lights up a little bit in the inflatable part. I am interested to see what he does and how bad these phrases could possibly be. But he is in the back of the front theme. He is across from Grimm, I believe. And like I said, the clowns are just starting to become way overdone. You know, there are like 4 clowns in the front theme alone, and the front theme only has like 8 animatronics in it. So, you know, so half of the front theme is clowns in a lab, which, you know, 1 or 2, like Nozzles, is really cool to have in a lab. But, you know, when you get Shorty and this guy in the front theme, it's just, it gets annoying. I actually think, now that I think of it, there's only 2 clowns in the front, but still, that's 2 out of the 8 props that are clowns in a small theme already. So I do believe in the front it's just this guy and Shorty. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, this guy does look like it's going to be another train wreck. I hate to say, but definitely not doing it for me, and I can tell this is going to be another real bad one for the year. Next up here is the monkey, which is named Monty. Now this one, I'm not going to say is bad, but it is just strange to me. I know there's a lot of fans out there that like the Symbol Monkeys, and that's clearly what he's based off of. Is he's got like a Symbol Monkey toy / circus theme going for him. It looks like that he has his own little theme off to the side in adult horror, is what I'm hearing, by costumes, similar to what we got for Sam and Shorty last year, except this year we only get 1 in there. He is $300, but what me and a lot of other people are thinking are that the split, if you look closely, there is a split between, in the box, it looks like there's 2 doors that would swing open, that there could be some sort of jump scare that comes out of there. But we, of course, like the other props, we don't really know until the animation and until flagship opens or the video comes out of a sneak peek if we get any this year. But $300 for this guy does also seem a little steep. I'm not, like I said, he's not bad to me. He just looks a little bizarre, and I'm personally not a fan of him and definitely wouldn't spend $300 on him. But I do know that so far he does have some fans out there, and I respect that for you guys. Next up here is Nozzles the Clown. Now forgive me for my past video about the leaks. I accidentally called him Nozzles the Clown because still waking up for the day and I actually thought that was the name of him. But this looks like a really unique concept. We'll get to the price in a minute because it is super high, but it looks to be some sort of like nuclear waste / lab themed clown. Now, his face is really creepy. I mentioned in the last video of the image we got of a mask being made of him that his face is really creepy, and I definitely think he's one of the most creepiest clowns we've gotten. Now, what I'm hearing is that based on the picture on the box, that fog comes out of his hands there, and they spin around and everything. So that is a really, really cool idea. I'm guessing it's going to kind of be like green fog, similar to Harvester of Souls, when the soul being sucked out of the girl. I'm guessing it's going to look similar to that, but that is a really cool idea. And it also looks like, I'm not sure, I do believe this is connected to him, but there is a like activation switch, like electric switch to the side there to go along with the lab theme. I do think that has something to do with him. If I had to guess, it's something like the buttons that we got in the hotel and the Area 31 theme with the pad that you put your hand on. I'm guessing that has something to do with what this is, which that's cool to see coming back. Or this could be included with the prop itself. However, the price of him is $349.99, so $350. That is one of the most, if not the most expensive prop we have ever seen in stores. And like I said, just like the other ones, I seriously doubt, fans are going to put money into him because I do know he's going to have his fans. And I'm definitely going to be one of him. He is not one I'm going to pick up because of that price. I really just don't really want to spend that even on any clown because I have so many already. And it just wouldn't really fit into my haunts. But definitely a really cool concept going here for him. But like I said, somebody that comes into the store just looking for some Halloween decorations that isn't an experienced haunter like us or collects them like us or a collector, anything like that, probably isn't going to buy something like this, spend $350 on an animatronic that's going to be on their porch, like I said, for a small portion of the year. But I will give credit where it's due. This guy looks really cool, and he's definitely one of my favorites for this year. And next on your screen here is Lucky Bottoms. So I don't have too much to say about this guy other than that he's definitely another one that's overpriced, as well as Little Skelly, which we're going to get to next, who's behind him there. But Lucky Bottoms, I will say, I like what they're going for here. I mean, yeah, it's your average clown prop, but for some reason I do like his face, and I think if they went with more, I heard that he kind of just convulses back and forth, that he kind of just rocks back and forth, so it doesn't really do anything. I believe it's going to be similar to what we saw with Thrashing Clown, except, there's no chair or box to activate him. I originally thought by looking at this that this was going to be a jump scare, but really, this picture does not make it look good at all. It could be just this photo, but it does look like it's going to be another loser, if you ask me. This doesn't look like it has much potential to, impress us, but you never know. Like all these props, you never know what it could do, but Lucky Bottoms definitely isn't looking overly great to me. And next up here is Lil Skelly Bones. Now, this isn't to be confused with the original Lil Skelly Bones, which was sold by Spirit Halloween 2015 through 2018 or 19, I believe. The original Lil Skelly Bones was a fan favorite of a lot of haunters, including myself, and I do own an original Lil Skelly Bones from 2016. The original Lil Skelly Bones was in stores and was in the Clock Tower and the Swamp Tours theme of 2015 and 2016. Sorry, I have those two reversed. Now, this Lil Skelly is much different. they took away the swing, and what it looks like to me is that he is now sitting on nothing. It looks to me that we just have the skeleton boy here, and what I think it's going to be a jump scare of some sort, and if you ask me, I think it's going to be a miniature version of like Demonic Dahlia and Jack Straw, where it's going to be in a sitting position, and then it is going to jump out at you. I do know that the head, or I don't know, but what I'm hearing is that the head moves as well. I don't know if he's going to have any phrases like the original Little Skelly Bones does, like any of the original phrases, because Little Skelly Bones has some pretty iconic phrases from 2015/16. Or if my guess is he's just going to, it's just going to be some sort of sound that he makes, or a grunt of some sort. If they give him like a roar or something weird, that's just going to make this even worse, this train wreck even worse. Coming from a huge Little Skelly Bones fan from the earlier days of Spirit, back in the glory days, in my opinion, not so much the glory days, but when we were starting to get into the darker ages, if you know what I mean, Little Skelly Bones was one of my favorites, and to see this monstrosity is a little upsetting to me. I get what they're going for. They wanted to bring a fan favorite back more into a jump scare, I believe, is what's going on here, and they wanted to remake him into a new prop, but definitely something I won't spend $170 on. If he was around $100, I would consider getting him to put him next to my original Little Skelly Bones, but definitely this one is very strange, like the rest of the lineup, and will not be getting a place on my list or in my haunt for this season coming. And up next here is Bagel Bones. Bagel Bones, really, I am not a fan of either. The bag that he's in looks very cheaply made. It almost looks like just a nylon of some sort, if you know what I mean. And the skeleton, I'm also guessing, is going to be cheaply made as well. Definitely not worth, I believe he is $149.99. Definitely not worth that. What he actually reminds me of, and what he actually probably is a reskin of, is the pop-up Barrel Zombie from Spirit Halloween 2015. He was featured in the swamp and was always breaking. Every store you would go to, he was broken. So I'm guessing the same can be expected out of this. And I'm not exactly sure what is up with putting the Spirit, I'm pretty sure it's the Spirit Acres farm on the bag there. Not exactly sure what's up with that. I get if it's like, an Easter egg they're trying to put in, but kind of seems just like an advertising thing of something you already bought from them, like that you're going to put out in your yard, and everybody's going to know where it came from, and Spirit's putting their own little advertising watermark on there, It's like Spirit's just throwing watermarks on their animatronics so that everybody knows where you got it from. So then, hey, I see Spirit, you got that from Spirit, I'm going to go there tomorrow. I don't know if that's what they're trying to go for, if it's trying to be a watermark, or a Easter egg of some sort, but I like the idea, but also at the same time I don't, because it comes off as just like a marketing thing out of you buying the prop, that they're kind of just trying to advertise the prop even more, so they can be like, okay, they got it from Spirit, like I said. But I digress there. I'm not too upset about this one. I do think it's a cool concept, and it definitely somewhat fits in the theme, but it definitely is very, like, I almost want to say like Walgreens or Walmart style of an animatronic, and I'm not liking that here. Next up here is Betty Sharp. Now, Betty Sharp, by the looks of it, is going to be a mommy's favorite reskin. I don't think she's going to do anything like pop out at you. I think she's kind of just going to go back and forth with the knife, similar to how mommy's favorite went back and forth. And I guess the nickname for this animatronic is Mommy's New Favorite. Not exactly sure where that originated, if that came from Spirit, or if that's just something that Haunters started, but if anybody knows, go ahead and mention that in the comments here. But she is placed next to Mr. Dark and Black and Red Jumping Spider, which we know both are obviously returning animatronics from past years, Mr. Dark being from last year. And what I'm going to say about this one is the idea is cool. I don't know what's going on exactly with the eyebrows there, if that's just how we're looking at it. But there are a few problems with this one that I have. One is that it doesn't really make any sense. A lot of people have been saying this, that it doesn't really make any sense why there's blood on the knife, but not on her face or her clothing. The outfit could have looked real. I do like the outfit. I like the color. I like the pink dress. But where have the days gone where we saw the blood? For example, Rosemary or Broken Spine Girl. We saw the blood or anything or the stains on the dress. We've just been getting all these normal looking dresses. It started with Mommy's Favorite and Abandoned Annie and stuff, and it's continued on to now. And, you know, I miss the days with the gore. I get if they want to make it more kid friendly, but Spirit, bring back the goriness to the animatronics. I know a lot of people have been saying that that's what a lot of times makes them so unique, and why people wanted to see things like Barnyard Butcher return for this year. Just the gore has been lacking a lot over the past few years. I'd say it really started in 2020, and it's starting to lack a lot. This is definitely the worst year with it. She is definitely overpriced. I figured she'd be around the price that Mommy's Favorite was, but I believe she's $149 or $159, something like that. I can't see the price tag because my voiceover box is actually right over it, but I do think that it is highly overpriced. I figured it would be right around the price of Mommy's Favorite, but not this year. This seems to be the price gouging year of Spirit here. Like I said, the idea and the concept is cool. If they had blood on it and, you know, it was more reasonably priced, I definitely would consider buying this one, but I can picture it being very small. It looks like it is very small. I can picture it being like Mommy's Favorite. We're going to get in the store and it's going to be real small, but not much else to say about this one. And last but not least, in the back theme here is Regan from The Exorcist. Now, this is another one that I do personally like for this season. I'm not sure if, I believe she has something that she has the projector there. I believe that there's a projector in her back that shines on a wall or something, and that's supposed to be the demon that's possessing her in the movie. I really like what they're going for there. And I'm not sure if I'm guessing it's going to be similar to the 2012 one we saw, which is bringing back some memories for me where we're going to get the music and the spinning head. Not sure if that's going to happen. I'm guessing a lot of it's going to have to do with being incorporated with this demon coming out of the projector that's possessing her. She is $279.99, so another really expensive animatronic. I'm guessing some of that is because of the projector, this is a really, really unique idea. This is definitely one of my favorites for this year, but the price, once again, is just way too high. I don't, like the others, I don't see anybody going in and buying her, spending almost $300 on this. If you're a non-haunter, just to have out, you know, and she is really cool in my opinion, but like I said, not cool enough for me to spend nearly $300 on her, and I'm guessing she's not even going to be that tall. I mean, she's supposed to be a young girl in the movie, so for something that's not even that tall, it is extremely overpriced, and I'm not really understanding that. It could have something to do with the projector, like I said, but I'm sure that's coming into play with the price. However, just like a lot of the other props, not worth $300 whatsoever, unfortunately. And last one on our list here is Young Crouchy. Where do I begin with this? I saved the worst one for last, or the best one to ramble about in this video for last. Where do I begin with this? This thing is... what the hell is that? I don't even know where to begin with this. This is probably almost as bad, if not worse, than Johnny Punk in 2020 and Wheelchair Granny. It's right up there with those two. I don't know what they were thinking when they made this, of how this would go well. When this first popped into a group chat I'm in, I legitimately thought it was a meme. With the lighting and the head that's oversized and the claws that oversized, I thought this was a Photoshop and this was a meme. But no, the meme came true, if you will. This monstrosity has been brought into the Halloween community. I don't know who just let this slide like this. Probably one of the worst, if not the worst idea that's ever came to Spirit Halloween. And get this, it is in stores for the 2022 season. In-store animatronic. This will be in the front theme of the lab this year. And we do not have a price on them yet, so we can't say anything about the price, but wow, did Spirit go wrong on this. They easily turned a prop that had an amazing following into this. And, you know, it kind of ruins the following, excuse me, that Crouchy had in the haunting community. I don't know what was being thought of when we got into this and when this was brought up and how this just slid by and is now a animatronic that's going to be sold in Spirit for this year. And I'm guessing it's going to be around like the $180 to $200 range if I had to take a guess based on how everything else has been. Well, I've said enough for this video, and I'm going to close it out by saying that this is pretty disappointing. Party City, which I'm going to be coming out with a video soon, definitely has taken the top for me this year. For the first time ever, I think I am extremely disappointed in Spirit Halloween's lineup for the season. Not only do we not have many animatronics in store, but it's just a lot of them are very, very strange. And I'm going to close out by saying this, what a lot of haunters have been saying. Where have the days gone with Spirit? The days when we had zombies and vampires and witches, everything, just the classic Halloween props. It's just getting overkill with these weird animatronics like Johnny Punk and Young Crouchy here and Bagel Bones that just make no sense whatsoever. Like this doesn't make any sense. I don't know who thought this would make sense, but this animatronic doesn't make any sense at all. But I'm not going to be too much of a jerk here because I will always love Spirit, but they really dung goofed the lineup this year. That's all I'm going to say. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching. This was a long video for everyone that got to this point. Thanks so much for sticking around. Can't wait to bring more and more videos to you this season. Stay tuned for more, and the haunt build is under planning and will begin construction next month. Hard to believe, and I got a great theme planned for you guys. As always, my friends, thanks for watching and happy hauntings. I will see you in the next Halloween 2022 video.